Soft rear tyre.
So here we go, 24 laps of the twin ring circuit here in Motegi. Round 15 in the MotoGP World Championship. Who will be the rain master here at Motegi?
Fantastic grid. Valentino Rossi being pushed a little bit wide as they come out of turn number 4.
Through the spray they come, up towards the tunnel, turn 5. This is where a lot of oil was dropped and why we were so late starting in Moto3 warm-up.
Dani Pedrosa was out wide at turn 5. You can just see how difficult it was, visibility further.
The Ducati at the front as they race up towards the hairpin.
Andrea Dovizioso's on the charge as well. Dovizioso just passed Alex Espargaro, so Dovizioso up from 9th into 5th place. And Andrea Iannone also on the charge in the factory Suzuki. Iannone up from 11th to 6th.
They're on the back straight, 700 metres, and it dips down into the 90.
Close enough to attack on the brakes. Marquez at the first corner, he has a look up the inside. Petrucci will make it safely through. Marquez relegated back to 2nd, but only briefly. Marquez sweeps back to 5 and Dovizioso through. He's now right on the back wheel of his closest championship rival, Marc Marquez. A moment there for Zarco as well as he peeled through turn 5. Left foot off the footrest for the Frenchman.
Well, it's a great start by Lorenzo. Probably an even better start as Petrucci goes up the inside of Lorenzo to take the lead. Danilo Petrucci leads the way. 300 kilometres an hour, then they break for this vicious 90-degree right-hander. Petrucci leads, Lorenzo in 2nd. Marquez coming under pressure from his great championship rider, Andrea Dovizioso. I was going to say before Petrucci took the lead, Dovizioso has probably made the best start of anybody coming from the 3rd row. Down they come, down to the double apex left. It's 3 and 4. Zarco tucked in behind Andrea Dovizioso. Dovizioso's got Marco's, has got
7. Andrea Dovizioso then makes his move on Marc Marquez. So Dovizioso up into the podium places for the first time. It's been a scintillating first 2.5 laps from Dovizioso. Marquez, though, tries to fight back and he makes it through at turn number 9. He got tight, but he's through.
He just will not give you a sniff, will he?
Up into 7th place.
It's a great ride by Rins. Missed so much of the season with that broken wrist. Is his rookie MotoGP season.
The Spanish rider at turn number 4, the only other rider in the 158s, or the only other 2 riders in the 158s last time around, Lorenzo and Alex Rins.
Here comes Marquez up the inside of Lorenzo to retake 2nd place as they go through turn 5.
Yeah, Petrucci with that extra soft tyre is checking out here. His advantage,
imagine, is to finish in front of Marquez.
They definitely touched Zarco. You could see Jorge Lorenzo's reaction. He was absolutely furious. A big shake of his head twice and before. Lorenzo got through and Alex Rins, you can see the pair of them there just struggling for vision. This was Zarco's move on Lorenzo, and Lorenzo didn't like this at all. Look, there's going to be contact. Look at Lorenzo's head. There you go. He did not like that. Let's stop the inside great on board now with Johan Zarco. Yeah, they definitely touched.
Without a doubt at the moment, Jorge Lorenzo. There's Alex Espargaro who's passed him.
I don't know what's happened to Lorenzo because all of a sudden he's dropping back through the field like a stone. He's under pressure.
Back out on that.
Well, he's done a fantastic job coming in very, very late. I think Brock Parks is in as need to replace Jonas Folger in the Australian Grand Prix.
Down to 1.4 seconds. Petrucci on that last lap, half a second slower than Marquez. Carol Abraham's another one to succumb to these really tricky conditions. Abraham, one of the 6 riders, however, in those rain conditions, struggling this year in the rain on that factory Honda. So it's another retirement for Cal Crutchlow.
Not a retirement, sorry.
Oh, Rossi's on the floor. Sorry, Valentino Rossi's crashed out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Valentino Rossi, turn 8, that's where Rossi was down as well in FP3 yesterday morning. So Valentino Rossi was...
A moment and just see how this situation plays out.
Yeah,
what's the gap
Petrucci's
now?
Responded. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:57.8. Only a couple of tenths quicker. Was in a 2:01.2. He was 3.5 seconds slower than Petrucci. What's happened to Jorge Lorenzo? He's having a nightmare out there.
And I do wonder whether...
Has fought back against the charge of the championship contenders, Marquez and Dovizioso. There is Zarco still leading the way for Iannone. The big Suzuki bosses are here this weekend. They must be delighted with the progress, with Zarco running 5th and Rins at the moment running in 6th place in front of Alex Espargaro.
Yeah, by far the best we've seen. 7, almost 0.6 of a second quicker than Petrucci.
Let's have a look at those starts. Well, Petrucci made a great start, Marquez made a great start, and DOVIZIOSO from the third.
Rins through on Iannone. Rins has got the pace here. Alex Rins is having the ride of his MotoGP career here in Japan. He's now up into 5th place.
Can he start challenging Johan Zarco? They can't believe it at Suzuki. They've had a tough old time. They had a great race here last year with Maverick Vinales in 3rd place.
So with him, but DOVIZIOSO not making any real great impression on Marquez as they come through victory corner for the 8th time.
Well, I remember the race at Misano. He left it to the
full defending 4th place from the hard-charging Alex Rins.
Well, we're not at half distance yet. It's Petrucci, Marquez, DOVIZIOSO, Zarco, Rins, Iannone, Aleix Espargaro, Vinales, Lorenzo, Danny Pedrosa. That's your top 10. And it's Baz, Paul Espargaro, Redding, Smith, Rabat are your point scorers. Valentino Rossi back. Explains the accident at turn 8. The main thing is he is okay.
Well, we know that the factory Yamaha in these wet conditions has really struggled for rig.
To retain the world title, could ride so hard in the wet on the last lap. But that is Marc Marquez.
He said the same yesterday, didn't he? He rides like he's not fighting for the world championship. He rides like there's zero pressure and there's nothing at stake. Again, Petrucci was able to put in his best lap of the race, a 1:57.665, but it was a lot.
But Marquez is the man on the charge, and poor old Danilo Petrucci chasing that first ever Grand Prix win. There's absolutely nothing more he can
dwell on Marc Marquez.
Well, as we always say, he always gives you that glimmer of hope, Marc Marquez, because he rides so hard, can make a mistake. This is the 90-degree corner from the helicopter, and for once you don't have to peer through the clouds to see the shot, do you?
Through the first lap of the race, we saw there Alex Rins really hunting down Johan Zarco. The gap between the two of them, former Moto2 championship rivals, of course, down to under 0.2 of a second. The championship slipping away from Maverick Vinales, you feel. A lonely ride at the moment for him in 8th place.
Back at the front, this is Danilo Petrucci there.
Proving to be the rain maestros this year as Rins continues.
He's lining it up, but he's not an easy man to overtake in these conditions, Zarco.
Well, and he'll know that from their Moto. And actually, he's responding. He's taken 0.6 of a second out of Rins already on this lap. Back on board with Marquez through victory corner. Will it be a 3rd victory in a row in 14 laps time for Marc Marquez?
If you had to put your money on it, you'd probably say there's every chance that is going to happen.
Yeah.
12th place. Scott Redding 13. Nakasuga 14. Rabat has gone up to 15, and Bradley Smith has dropped back to 16th place. Looks like a mistake from Bradley Smith.
Back with the race leader, Petrucci. Marquez.
You certainly need an anchor in the wet conditions. Danilo Petrucci, what a ride he is producing at the front. But he's got that horrible deja vu feeling that Marquez, and he's bringing DOVIZIOSO along, are closing all the time to the second. Don't really need to look at the timing screens. You can see how close it is. The 3 leaders are through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, DOVIZIOSO just put in his best lap of the race. Live championship, if you threw the checkered flag now. Marc Marquez with 3 races to go, heading to Australia in 5 days' time. Would have a 20-point advantage over Andrea DOVIZIOSO. It would still be very... So Marquez getting the spray of Petrucci's Pramac Ducati. Of course, last year was the year of the game of dare on the brakes at the end of the back straight. Marquez then holds Petrucci off as well through turn number 12. Marquez then leads
right
on his own way, but at the back of his mind, Petrucci will not be taking any crazy risks. If he were to take out Andrea DOVIZIOSO and ruin Ducati's hopes to win the championship,
you'd hear that ripping sound of
Petrucci,
contracts.
well, he'll be walking home from Australia, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. Marquez is on the charge. He has been absolutely superb in these conditions throughout the practice sessions.
Did the right thing. He knew he had to get up the inside of Petrucci really quickly. Couldn't give Marc Marquez the chance to get a breathing space at the front of this race. Top end of the circuit then to respond.
Well, in many ways, it's how you want it. It's the 2 leading championship contenders fighting it out at the front.
Yeah, and straight away, the pair of them, having disposed of Petrucci, have dropped into the 156s. Marquez, the fastest man in this race, at 156.713. Zarco doggedly holding off. Alec really fancied his chances in full wet conditions of fighting for his first victory for Ducati, but since the early laps, he's been really left floundering, Lorenzo. At the moment, he is almost 20 seconds off the pace of the lead battle. He's run into some major grip issues, Lorenzo.
Well, you've got to say, Marquez hasn't broken Andrea Dovizioso.
Nothing Petrucci could do about it. Petrucci couldn't tip in. Marquez had the inside line, ran the tight line to the apex. Petrucci thought about sweeping back up the inside. A mistake now for either of these two will be a monumental moment in the World Championship. Dovizioso.
I thought he thought about it, do you?
He edges ever so close to the rear tire of Marquez.
But making it, getting through and making it stick will.
Onto the back of this too, although he's dropped a little bit further back on this lap around. That's the live championship, 21 points the advantage for Marc Marquez. It would be going to Australia.
Coming out of turn 2 down towards turn 3, will he do the same again? They're coming up to the victory corner. Who's going to be leading the way to the victory corner in 8 laps time? Is it going to be Marquez or Dovizioso? They cross the line now. 8 to go here in Japan.
Looks like Cal Crutchlow's crashed again. It's been a day.
6, Alicia Spargo is 7, 8 Vinales, 9 Lorenzo, and 10 Bads.
There's Cal Crutchlow, showered in sparks from his LCR Honda.
That lap race, and Petrucci doing a brilliant job in 3rd place. He's hanging in there, hoping perhaps there's problems for these two leaders. Perhaps there will be a problem if they actually can get together. But Dovizioso is having to work very, very hard to stay with Marquez at the moment.
Yep, down to the 90-degree corner then.
Isn't it? If he goes for broke and crashes out, it could almost be goodbye to the championship.
That's
if he goes for broke and gets in front of him, it may not be the case. Iannone is slowly but surely pulling back the advantage of Rins and Zarco in this battle for 5th place.
Rock solid defence by Johan Zarco, though. He's fast here. He just has not got the pace to go with Marquez and Dovizioso. Has he just abused that extra soft rear? Yeah, you can see Dovizioso moves to the right-hand side of the track again just to make sure he had clear track, wasn't being impeded by the spray being kicked up by Marc Marquez's factory Honda.
I've got to say, visually, he's a little bit closer again, isn't he? We'll look at the times as they go over the line. They do cross. Oh, what a great race and what a great championship this is turning out to be. The two championship leaders absolutely at it in the rain here at Motegi. Here comes Dovizioso up the inside on the brakes at turn 5. Andrea Dovizioso leads the Japanese Grand Prix.
Now,
5.5 to go. 11 points it would be in the championship, but Marquez will not take this. Word is not to say it, probably lying down. In his hair can't go any whiter.
No,
it would, wouldn't it?
He's got no fingernails left for the flight down to Australia. Straight away then, Andrea Dovizioso still in the 156 is that last time around. Marquez dropped into the 158. Dovizioso immediately able to open up an advantage of almost 9/10 of a second. This was the crucial overtake on the block. Alex Rins up to a fantastic 4th place. Zarco now's got to contend with the second of the factory Suzuki's and Andrea Iannone.
Absolutely wretched time after such a great season last year, especially with Maverick Vinales and winning that race at Silverstone in England. But here they are, right where they should be, in front of the bosses as well. I know they're all here watching this weekend, and it's a super performance by them.
So has Marquez got anything left?
You wouldn't be surprised, would you?
It's a very safe 3rd place right now for Petrucci. He's a long, long way clear of Alex Rins.
Marquez closes up marginally on the brakes as they come into 3 and 4. This is where Marquez crashed on a Friday.
Ducati have not won here since Casey Stoner in 2010. What a
situation, isn't it?
Yeah, keep your emotions in track. Just go for the stone-faced approach.
Yeah, right down towards turn 9 they come. Marquez certainly has closed the gap on Andrea Dovizioso. They splash their way up to the hairpin and then onto the back straight. And we know how good Marquez is. Dovizioso wishes it was the victory corner on the last lap.
Marquez carries unbelievable pace through turns 12. He's got brilliant corner speed. He's so strong in that 3rd sector and the 4th sector this weekend, Marquez, and he's cut the gap.
Very overtook him when he took the lead at turn 5. He's not close enough this time round. 2 3/4 laps to go here. It takes up towards the hairpin.
Danny Pedrosa's day is over. He's entered the pits. Dovizioso, can he fight back at turn number 10? No, he can't. Is he going to be close enough to slipstream the Honda down the back straight and attack Marquez at the 90-degree corner? Dovizioso then trying to get a bit of clear track behind Marc Marquez. He won't be close enough to strike this time around.
Oh, they come. Marquez leads the way. DOVIZIOSO closes up on the Ducati. This is where Marquez called him on the I'm sorry, it's a little bit further round on the last lap. DOVIZIOSO fought back at turn 5 to take the lead. Marquez holds the advantage coming into 3 and 4.
The inside at the 130R, not close enough to repeat that move this time around.
They come up to the S-curve at this slight, was not really a hill, but it just slightly uphill round the right-hander. And down they come towards turn 9. And Marquez really has got the hammer down.
As he hits top gear over the crest down into that 90-degree corner. Bautista's race is over. Back with the front then. 1 lap and 3 corners to go here.
Because he's into the tunnel through turn 5 on the last lap of the 24-lap race here in Japan. And DOVIZIOSO is not close enough. All right, lucky man, Marc Marquez, but he held on to it as he often does, and DOVIZIOSO was not able to take the advantage.
Marquez on the last lap in, but Austria. Marquez comes through at the final corner. Is he going to run wide? Is history repeating itself like in Austria?
DOVIZIOSO has done it here in Japan. His 5th victory of the season. The championship is wide open.
The second classic ladder of Marc Marquez in the final lap showdown.
Unbelievable race. Just MotoGP.